Thank you, Dervla. Jeev, Majinwa, good morning, everyone. Pleasure to be back here for the third Irish Roundtable here in the Valley, here at Stanford, which sure has just taken us through the history of this place, but that global centre of ideas, of research and ambition. My sincere thanks to Aisling Events, to the Irish Echo, to Marcin, to Conla, to everyone who's made this happen, to bring together such an impressive group of Irish people, or people connected to Ireland, innovators, leaders, friends of Ireland. And this event is a very important platform for placing Ireland at the heart of a conversation that is defining how we live, defining the future. It's here and it's happening right now. And we're very, very fortunate to have such a remarkable group of Irish people, those connected into technology, those that have been part of building this part of the world, building San Francisco, building Palo Alto, building Stanford, right across the Bay Area, and it reflects what they've done right across the United States, this the year of America 250. And that includes those that support Irish companies, those that support companies here doing business in Ireland, those that support Irish innovation links and research links. Living and working here in the Bay Area gives us that front row seat to the pace of technological change. AI is reshaping business right as we speak. It's reshaping public services, it's research, healthcare, education, and the way our societies organise themselves. And for Ireland, that challenge is clear. We must move quickly, but we also must move thoughtfully. We must ensure that innovation supports people, strengthens trust, improves productivity, and helps us deliver public services for the better outcome of the citizens. And Ireland brings real strength to this discussion at this moment in time. We have a deep technology ecosystem, a strong research base, a highly educated workforce, a thriving startup community, and a long record of partnership with many of the world's leading companies. But we know that the next phase of growth will depend on the infrastructure that sits beneath innovation, the energy, the data centres, the housing, the transport, the planning, the skills, and the public service capacity. And that's why it's particularly important and timely that we can welcome Minister Jack Chambers to the Bay Area this week. The Minister has already been doing a huge amount of work to reform and accelerate the foundations that are crucial to underpinning what Ireland needs to do to embrace the technological changes and the benefits and the opportunities that they bring. As Minister for Public Expenditure, Infrastructure, Public Service Reform and Digitalisation, the Minister is here to engage directly with businesses, technology and policy leaders, and to examine the infrastructure that Ireland will need to compete, to innovate and to serve the people in the years ahead. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm delighted to welcome Minister Jack Chambers.
Thanks so much, Micheál, and good morning to everyone. It's a pleasure to be here in Stanford at the Irish Roundtable and in this world-renowned university. And I want to thank all the organisers for bringing this together, in particular Aisling Events, Marcin O'Millar, Conal McCann and the team from the Irish Echo, and all the honorary chairs and friends. It's perhaps worth dwelling briefly on the incredible history of this university in the field of AI, from the early AI labs of the 1960s to the Stanford CART, which influenced so much in the field of autonomous vehicles, to early work on neural networks. And beyond, this institution has really laid the foundation of the revolution we see in the world today. And Ireland has a proud legacy of contribution to the field of mathematics and the foundational stones of modern technology as we know it today. Boolean algebra, the essential basic logic for modern computing programming, was developed by George Boole, the first professor of mathematics at Queen's College in Cork, as was then known in the middle of the 19th century. Kay McNulty, hailing from Creeslaw, a tiny Gaeltacht village in County Donegal, one of the most northern shores of the island of Ireland, helped to build one of the first ever general-purpose electronic digital computers. And you've heard there about John McCarthy, the son of an Irish immigrant who left County Kerry in the hope of new life and opportunities, played a central role in the development of the field that will become artificial intelligence right here in Stanford. San Francisco was famously the home of the gold rush in the 1840s. In 2026, it's clear a new gold rush is well and truly underway. But we should remember the contribution of Boole, McNulty and McCarthy. They were the first modern-day tech prospectors, finding the nuggets which led to the rich seams of innovation currently being mined across the Bay Area and beyond. And congratulations on your third year of a forum that brings together the Irish diaspora leaders in technology, innovators, investors, and policymakers in one of the most dynamic centres of innovation anywhere in the world. So today's theme speaks to one of the defining challenges and opportunities of our time, not simply how we develop the extraordinary new technologies, but how we deploy them responsibly, at scale, and in ways that create real public and economic value. And it's a particular pleasure to see so many members of our Irish diaspora as pioneers of this West Coast technology ecosystem. The Irish story in this region has long been one of connection, resilience, ambition, and there's wide acceptance of the contribution which has been made. And that's true in business and academia and innovation, and increasingly in the global conversation around technology policy and digital transformation. Yesterday, we were at an AI and minority languages conference in Ireland House, San Francisco, where we explored how technology can strengthen languages, advance digital inclusion, and help shape a multilingual digital future. That was an important discussion and an important reminder that AI is not an economic or commercial issue alone. It's also a social, cultural, and democratic one. This transition is inevitable and positive, but today's discussion gives us an opportunity to widen the lens. If we're serious about making responsible AI work and about scaling it for impact, then we have to think not only about the models and the products, but also about the systems. We have to think about the infrastructure, public policy, public trust, skills, regulation, energy, data, research capacity, and institutional readiness. We have to think about how countries build a case for the proliferation of new technologies, build the conditions in which innovation can thrive and society can reap the benefits of innovation. Ezra Klein and Derek Thompson, some of you may read their book on abundance. If we refuse to build what is possible and necessary, shortages and consequences are not prevented. They're simply displaced to worse outcomes. And this is very much at the intersection of the work I'm doing in government in Ireland as Minister for Public Expenditure, Infrastructure, Reform and Digitalisation. Those responsibilities are deeply connected. They're about how a country plans for the future, how it invests in the foundations of growth, how it modernises public services, and how it ensures and delivers the digital transformation in a way that works for our country. And AI is influencing decisions in real time across many sectors, from healthcare, education to finance, transport, and public administration. Responsible AI does not happen by accident. It requires leadership, clear rules, and smart governance. It requires public confidence and requires the hard foundations that allow innovation at scale with compute capacity, connectivity, data capacity, energy, transport, housing, talent, and institutional capability. It's clear here in California, as it is in Ireland and across the EU, that technological leadership and infrastructure capacity are now inseparable. And the ability to lead in advanced technologies is increasingly shaped by whether countries can deliver the physical and digital infrastructure that modern economies require. That's why infrastructure is such a central focus of the work we're doing in Ireland. In December, we published an Accelerating Infrastructure Report and Action Plan, a major programme of reform designed to improve the efficient delivery of infrastructure in Ireland. This matters enormously for our economic future and for our capacity to compete being transformed by technological change. It set out about 12 barriers to infrastructure development through extensive engagement last year, but it comes down to 4 key pillars. First of all, legal reform, much of which you see in the US, where we've got very narrow sectoral groups undermining the broader national objectives of delivering growth, prosperity, and infrastructure delivery? And how do we narrow the scope for legal challenge, which just undermines delivery, adds cost, and stops infrastructure development in modern economies? So we're rebalancing rights in the context of delivery. Secondly, regulatory reform. How do we rebalance regulation to get things done, to ensure the outputs are matched with the investment we're making in modern economies? And in too many instances, fragmented agencies, process has superseded progress. And we need to take a look on simplification and more balanced regulation. Thirdly, it's coordination and delivery reform, and again, ensuring that we future-proof a lot of our delivery agencies and increase the risk appetite of the public service to get things done. And fourthly, building public acceptance, where in many Western democracies, the voice of some environmentalist groups or narrow groups dominate rather than those who want to see the road built, the transport system delivered, the energy abundance for industry, and many other areas which are being undermined by very sectoral groups. So we're rebalancing all that to drive delivery and outputs, and that's our challenge. But we've made good progress this year. In the last number of weeks, we have a critical infrastructure bill, which again puts all that on a legislative pathway, again to drive and force reform across the public service and deliver the outputs in energy, transport, water and housing in particular, to ensure we build the foundations of growth for the future. So it's about multiple systems interacting, such as planning, legal process, regulation, coordination across agencies, which we're all working on. And Ireland is creating the conditions for faster, more efficient delivery across these areas, and by doing so we will strengthen the foundations of enterprise, social development, competitiveness and long-term prosperity. And that's what's particularly relevant when we think about AI and digitalisation. If we want to support advanced industry, frontier research, data-driven public services and wider digital adoption, then we need the infrastructure that makes all of that possible. That means more resilient energy systems, it means connectivity, subsea cables and digital networks, it means transport systems that support growth, and it means much more affordable housing that allows talent to live and work in the places where innovation happens. And it means countries need to build a state that works with greater speed, coherence and confidence. And that's why the infrastructure agenda and the digital agenda are increasingly part of the same national project for which I'm responsible in Ireland, where digitalisation has been pulled into the economic brief that I have. The countries and economies which can provide more abundant water, abundant power and abundant transport infrastructure will be best placed to meet and grasp the benefits of those technologies. And the same is true of Ireland's broader digital policy direction. Earlier this year, we published the new National Digital and AI Strategy. This reflects both our confidence in the future, but also realism about the choices we must make. Ireland can rightly be confident of our strong digital foundations. We're a global digital hub, our talent pool is well understood, and there's already an existing vibrant innovation ecosystem. But we are realistic about the scale of the transformation underway and the need for government to ensure that we have the right priorities to make the right choices in a coordinated way. We must ensure that the benefits of digital and AI technologies are spread widely across the economy and society, while protecting privacy, fundamental rights and public trust. And its ambition is practical and far-reaching. It includes in Ireland the digitalisation of all key public services by 2030, with the vast majority to be consumed online. It includes a new AI advisory unit, a new national AI fellowship programme for the public service, helping government to build the knowledge and capability needed to use and drive AI adoption effectively and responsibly. It includes a new AI office, a regulatory sandbox, an AI skilling platform, new supports for SMEs to increase AI adoption across the economy, and a commitment to host an international AI and digital summit during Ireland's presidency of the European Council. And Ireland's EU presidency in the second half of 2026 offers a major opportunity to help shape the European agenda at a pivotal moment for competitiveness, digital transformation and strategic resilience. It gives Ireland a platform to act as a practical bridge and honest broker between innovation and regulation, to drive forward discussions on AI, digital infrastructure skills and trusted technology, and to help ensure that Europe's approach is ambitious and innovation friendly while firmly grounded in democratic values, inclusion and fundamental rights. We want Ireland to be a strong voice in Europe for a digital economy that supports innovation and competitiveness, whilst also protecting privacy, trust, and that's why responsible AI is not about slowing innovation down, nor is it about pretending the risk can all be eliminated. It's about creating the confidence and capability that allows innovation to scale in a way that is sustainable, trusted, and socially valuable. In that respect, to conclude, Ireland has something meaningful to contribute. We're a small country, but a highly connected one. We have a long experience of engaging internationally, of building bridges between innovation and policy, and of serving as a place where global companies, public institutions, and research communities can engage with each other constructively. We understand both the pace of technological change and the importance of values-based governance, and we are really ambitious, not only to respond in this area of change, but to help shape it and deliver it in terms of delivering the long-term growth and prosperity to the Irish economy. So that's why gatherings like this matter so much, and I want to appreciate everyone involved and thank you for being here and your contribution to building that expertise for the future. Gur Maith Agaibh.